Welcome to the Thunderdome. There we go. Now we got it. We got to unmute our mic first. Can't even start any of this off that well. Anyway, welcome guys to some Wsoe predictions / we're going to talk about groups first because I thought this was rather interesting what happened with that. Let me just move a couple things around here so I can see it a little better on my screen. Of course, it's a little janky. We got our fiery hellscape that I love so much. Because why not? Because right now, with Wsoe, it's been a little chaotic, let's say. With the announcements, with players not knowing certain things, yada, yada, yada. Anyway, so let's get into that first. So here's our groups, as you can see up there. My thing is mirrored, so... Group A, Team Solo Mid, Energy Esports, G2 Esports, PSG Esports, and To Be Determined, which is the SAM team that consists of 2 players from 2 different starting teams, probably the top 2 teams-ish, and then a sub for one of those top 2 teams. So it's because of visa issues, so they're kind of thrown together last minute to form a team. On the other side, we got Group B. We have Cloud9, Dignitas, Chiefs, Flipside Tactics, and Afterthought. Oh, yeah, I don't know if you're doing a Q&A, but I saw that subreddit that Rumco was upset about some rule change. Yes, we'll be talking about that throughout this Magna Elephant. For people on YouTube, we're doing this live on Twitch, so I will be answering some things from Twitch chat as we go through this, and then I'll put it up on YouTube after we're done. Let's get into this a little bit, where when you look at these groups, there is a clear favorite group right now from what we've seen, at least, from these teams. Group A is completely stacked. Absolutely stacked to the brim. Probably the most promising team coming out of both qualifiers between both regions might have been PSG Esports. And that's honestly probably true. Like, they didn't make any roster moves. They're looking extremely strong. They didn't win necessarily the Wsoe qualifiers, but Flipside made a change afterwards, which is also another kind of weird rule where there was a 2/3 rule for the Wsoe. So Yukio actually helped Flipside advance, and then is now playing for Dignitas, so Flipside brings in speed last minute. They didn't do that well at DreamHack qualifiers, so you would think that they're a little bit weakened. The Chiefs, we still don't know who their third is by the time I'm recording this. Who knows? Who knows who their third is, but they lost the best player in their entire region. So they are definitely downgraded as well. So when you look at Group A, and the most promising team from NA from the qualifiers, obviously G2. Like Afterthought, fantastic run. It seemed like a miracle run at times, so you expect them not to do too much here. But G2 looked extremely strong throughout Wsoe. They also qualified first. Didn't make any roster moves after that. They deserve a pretty high spot on the seedings, I guess. But it's pretty stacked, because I feel like Group A has, if I was going to make a bracket stage based on just on paper results from the qualifiers, Group A has 4 teams that would make this bracket, and there's 2 teams from Group B that would make this bracket, and that's it. And sure, like obviously that's only 1 team difference for the lopsidedness, but that's still a pretty big deal when you're playing for a lot of money on the line. And it also hurts teams like a Team Solo Mid, which is why Remco is probably so angry, and even like an Energy, where it's now going to be much more difficult to come out of your group compared to what Cloud9 and Dignitas have, possibly. Now, obviously, they still have to play the games, but on paper, Group B is pretty easy for Cloud9 and Dignitas. It's going to be very hard to see Cloud9 and Dignitas not be the top 2 from that group. But again, like Flipside got more practice now with speed. Chiefs have obviously been practicing with whoever they have. So you just never know. But still. So that's why Rumco's upset, in my opinion. The way people were saying online, at least, I guess Torment was saying this in stream, was that they were supposed to do a schoolyard pick. I think I heard that from someone in my Twitch chat. And then I heard it again from someone else. So I'm just going to say that was supposed to happen. I don't know for sure. I might have told them that, hey, maybe we should do this, but that doesn't mean that they were going to take my advice. They did take my format, but that's not for sure that they were going to take that. But let's say that happens. Let's say it was a schoolyard pick. It would be TSM and Cloud9 who are going to pick those teams. So let's just base this off of. So this is what how I'm going to create my groups. I actually have to find how I'm going to do this. Okay, so we're going to base this off. So TSM is Group A. Cloud9 is Group B. So we will get to the actual predictions shortly. But I just want to talk about like how I think this would have played out and what we could have saw. So this is why I think they were upset. It's because I think in the rulebook it said it was going to be a schoolyard pick. They also said it was going to be, I think, right before the tournament, which I'm not a huge fan of because I think that kind of downgrades what Rocket League is, where it's possible that people think that you don't need to plan ahead of time. Like, I would have liked to see them do it a week, like during that week gap, do a draft, like fun Skype thing or Discord or whatever. It's just a video segment where they pick the groups and then allow the coaches to try and figure out how they want to play against some of these teams. Instead, they would have to look up all 9 teams because they don't know who's going to be in their group. And that's just a lot more work that they don't necessarily do. Now, obviously, if they met them in the bracket, they would have to do it there. But still, you're going to focus on your group first and then worry about that later. But anyway, so let's go into this, how the schoolyard pick probably would have went. So TSM would have first pick. They would pick one team. Honestly, I think they would pick probably TBD or Afterthought. I don't think there's that much of a difference. I think they would have chose the same thing for 2 reasons. One, they probably want to play some SAM players, because why not? Because they don't get that opportunity that often. They're also playing with a sub, and it's not a real team. So I think they would have picked TBD. Then Cloud9 would have got 2 picks. Now, this order could have been different. Like, I think what I would have done was allow TSM the option of picking first or second, and then go from there. But for this instance, we'll just go TSM picks first. So Cloud9 picks, and I think they obviously pick Afterthought, because Afterthought would be that next team, and then they would probably go... Now, here's where it gets interesting. I think they would honestly probably go with the Chiefs, but also it could be determined based on what they've seen in scrims or heard from scrims from Flipside Tactics. They could also choose Flipside here. For my case, I'm going to say they choose the Chiefs just because Cloud9 always destroys the Chiefs. Every single time they play, they destroy them, except for like the very first time where it was kind of close. So I think Cloud9 would choose the Chiefs here, and we would get that. So those 2 teams in there. TSM that then gets 2 picks, and the one pick they will never pick, we already know that, is Dignitas, right? So... Oh, actually, I'm sorry. Cloud9 will get 2 more picks after, so there'll still be 1 more spot. TSM will likely get Dignitas in their group, so my apologies there. So if they're picking 2 more, they would pick Flipside. They have a pretty good track record against Flipside. We'll just do initials here because it'd be too long. And then it gets interesting where, do you go PSG? Do you go... Like, I think they go PSG in this case. Like, I don't know if they want to face a G2 with all that firepower. Maybe they do. But I'm going to say they go PSG there. Cloud9, 2 picks after that. They would probably go, now again, who knows. So they're going to go G2. And then it comes down to, do you want energy or do you want to, like, have the cojones to pick Dignitas? Like, Dignitas is obviously a little weaker. And honestly, they might pick energy over G2 here. It depends on how scrims have been going with Cloud9. I'm going to say they pick Dig, because why not? I think that'd be kind of fun. And I think they'll stick with the G2 pick. And also because Dig could be relatively weaker without KDOP, at least at first. And maybe Cloud9's banking on that. Also, Cloud9's kind of had their number lately. So that leaves energy would go over to TSM. So let me do that. Now, obviously, these picks could be a little bit different. But these would be my groups, not obviously in this order. But basically what we see here is PSG gets a relatively easier group where they should advance. They have Flipside in it, and they have TBD. And basically, it just swaps G2 or Energy out. And that's the one swap that you would really need to do. Excuse me. So instead of having... so it would probably be like a trade of G2 for Flipside or a trade of Energy for Flipside. And then these groups would be very similar. But it would make it a little bit evener. And also, it'd be more fair. And also, because the players were told this... or told something at least. I'm not sure if it was exactly this, but they were told something, and now the format has changed on them last minute. So that would have been nice to see. It sucks that we don't get to see the SAM team, like a proper SAM team. That's unfortunate. The way they're saying the games are going to be shown, I'm not sure if that's necessarily going to be completely accurate. I have no idea. The other thing that I find extremely weird about all of this, and like includes the group stage. Like Wsoe didn't even announce it. Liquipedia announces it, and then WSOE just retweets it. Like, why wouldn't you want to, like, tell the world what the groups are going to be? That's a big deal. I don't understand that at all. But whatever. Anyway, it seems like WSOE just wants to give a Liquipedia, like, everything, and then we just find out that way. Who knows? I have no idea. Is there a B stream? No idea. I don't think so. With the amount of talent, I guess they might be able to. I think they said Axel Toss will be talking to players a lot. And then there's another interviewer. I'm actually going to bring up the talent thing again and see how many talent there is. Because usually 3 to 4 man desk, 2 casters. So Lewis would be on the desk. Axel Toss is not. Yeah, no, they will. There's no way they have a B stream unless the French casters are somehow doing a B stream, but I think they're just doing the same mainstream. There's just not enough talent there for it. If Axel is talking to players and Lauren is also doing hosting and interviews and stuff, that leaves 2 people for the desk, Lawler and Sheaves, and then 2 people to cast, James Bond and Wade Funk. And obviously not that order, but that's how it would be, right? Unless it's a 2-man desk or something. So doesn't look like there's going to be a B stream. And also on Liquipedia, which I should have opened, they have the games listed. I can't really show this that well. I will link it in chat so you guys can see. Now, I don't know if this is true. Again, it seems weird that Liquipedia has all this info, but WSOE hasn't technically announced it. So we'll go into that, and then we'll go into my actual predictions. So we will get there. So real quick, I'm going to link this in the chat for the people on Twitch, and I'll have it in the description below for my video. They're showing TSM Energy from round number 1. It's 1 game per round. Dignitas C9. Round 3 is PSG G2. Round 4 is Flipside Dignitas. Round 5 is C9 Chiefs. What that basically means is we never see the SAM team, and this is if they only show 5 rounds. We never see the SAM team, and we never see Afterthought, and I think that's it. I think those are the only 2 teams we do not see, which is kind of unfortunate. They said they were going to have video recordings of the other games, and they were going to put them up. They did say that. So we'll see if they throw them up on YouTube or something like that. But by the time they get up on YouTube, then people will know results, and it might not be as exciting. Obviously, it would be cool if they could have had a B stream, even if it wasn't casted. Like, even if it was just showing games, I think that'd be really, really neat. But it doesn't look like that's the case. Now, my one thing that I would have done for this, I'm actually going to go real quick. This is going to look weird for the YouTubes, but we're going to go to the live scene, and I'm going to show you this real quick, and then we'll come back. So let me move this out of the way, and then we'll go back to the other one. Because I kind of want to show this. So you see here, they have 5 rounds. And sorry about all the other stuff, but it's up already. So they have 5 rounds, and then they show 1 game from each. So my suggestion when they were doing this was, and here's how I probably would have done it. Round 1 is the round where you show teams that you're not probably going to see later in the bracket, in my opinion. I would have showed either TBD or Afterthought, depending on how it goes. I would have showed probably TBD to open up the tournament. Would have been really cool for a SAM team. So TBD versus PSG is my first round game. Round 2 and 3, I would have showed the big games. I would have showed Team Solo Mid versus NRG, Cloud9 versus Dignitas. So that would have been those games. After that, I would base it all based on stand-ins. So round 4 and 5, like I would try and find one of the games that's relatively important, but not necessarily crucial no matter what. Because what I would do also is I would save 1 game from round 4, 1 game from round 5, and move them to round 6 and round 7. So you have 7 games on stream, so you see a little bit more. Games where when you start looking at the stand-ins are going to matter no matter what, even if every other game ends up with results. And obviously, a little bit of guesswork here, but so round 4, like I would save 1 and put it off to the side for round 6, and I would show one of the round 4s that's really important. You're probably going to see top teams in that again, or at least somewhat of top teams. And then same thing with round 5. Like I would have shown a series that we know matters, and then I would have saved one for round 7 where it's like, oh, no matter what, that's a winning in game or whatever. So like that would have been really cool. Then we would have got 7 best of 5s. And obviously that's a little bit hard to do on the fly. You kind of need someone there to make sure you can run scenarios and all that at the same time while running everything else. But that's probably what I would have done. Who knows if they are doing something similar? I have no idea. Like maybe there is going to be more games. Who knows? But that's probably what I would have done. But anyway, let's go back. Sorry about all that. We'll go back over here. Back to our fancy stuff. Where's the tournament streamed? On WSOE's channel. I'm not sure the exact Twitch, but yeah. Why don't they show every game? That's 20 games. There's no way that they can show every single game. It's a 2-day event. And like I do like the group play format because it gives teams chances to make it, but obviously you can't show every game if it's a 2-day format. It's just the way it is. You know, what are you going to do? Let's see, what else do we need? Let's see if there's any questions in chat. Doesn't look like it. All right. Now, let's go into my actual predictions for this. We will clear these out, these groups, and we will rename this My Groups thing to predictions. If I can find where the My Groups is. Here we go. Sorry, we just got to update this so it looks all pretty. All right, so Group A is that group of death. Like, that one's going to be really, really tough to call. And Group B, relatively easy, I think, in my opinion, for the first two. After that, it gets a little shaky, obviously. But first two should be easy. Now, once again, it's only 4 best-of-5s. So if one of those games goes wrong and is an upset for Cloud9 or Dignitas, if they then lose to the other team, like Cloud9 or Dig, then they're 2-2, and then you're in trouble. Really quick, I will go over what teams need to do to automatically qualify for the bracket. If you have 3 wins, you automatically qualify for the bracket. You cannot finish 4th if you have 3 wins. If you have 1 win, you are still alive. You could finish in 3rd place because it's going to be the same. I think it's the same tiebreakers as RLCS, where it's game differential and then it's head-to-head. So 3 teams can lose to the other 2. So Cloud9 and Dignitas, say they beat all Cheaps, Flipside, and Afterthought. I think I said Cheaps. I can't talk today. It's early, sort of. So, and then Cheaps, I did it again. Chiefs, Flipside, and Afterthought, they all beat each other, right? So they all win once. So they all go 1-3. Then one of those teams could advance. So keep that in mind when you're watching. Your team can still make it, even if they start like 0-2. You know, who knows? Anyway, let's get into it. Group A, and you guys tell me why I'm wrong. It's going to be really hard to tell because we don't know scrim results and all that stuff. We should have asked probably Gregan before we came here, but we did not. Group A, TSM, Energy, Chi2, PSG, TBD. Well, first, let's start at the bottom because TBD, this is a tough group, man. Like it was going to be tough for them no matter what, but I expect them to come in 5th place. And then after that, man, oh man, this could be bad. Like, PSG might be the hottest team coming in, but that's because we've seen them. We haven't seen Energy or TSM. I'm going to put PSG in. I think they will make it because I think they've been playing really well. I just don't know yet who to kick out. Man. All right, I put TSM 2nd. I think they will lose to one of the NA teams. Oh, this is tough. You know what? I'm going to go for the upset. Which is weird for me to do, but I'm going to go for the upset here. I haven't seen Energy play, so who knows? I'm going to go G2 number 1, TSM number 2, PSG number 3, Energy falling down to 4th, and 5th, TBD. It'll probably be extremely close bracket or group, but that's what I'm going to go with. I'm going to go with that. That one's really hard to call, and I think, honestly, the team that comes in 4th there could probably run through the bracket and win this tournament, but they won't get the opportunity. So let's go to Group B. This one, pretty simple, at least at the top. You expect C9 to be Dig once again, but who knows? And then Dig should come in 2nd. They just have to worry about don't get upset by one of these teams. But I think that's pretty safe. Then we'll go down to 5th, and I think that is Afterthought. We'll just do their initials here. So I think it's Afterthought. And then it comes down to, I think, Chiefs versus Flipside. But I do think, without knowing who the Chiefs' 3rd is, I can't really count on them right now. And Flipside has had some time to practice, obviously, with speed. And the Chiefs lost the best player in the world. I don't know if Flipside necessarily lost their best player with Yukio. Like, I think a lot of it kind of revolves around Cooks here. So just because of that, I would put Flipside in. And I think Group B, I think a lot of people are going to have a very similar group here. Like, that one's not that hard to predict. It's just going to be Group A. It's going to be really, really tough. Now we got to fill up this bracket. So we got Dig versus the 3 seed, which would be PSG. And then we have the 2 seed, Group A, which is TSM, versus the 3 seed, which is Flipside. And we'll put in the winners of each group here. Group A winner is G2. The check is in the mail. Let's see. We'll put G2 here. And Group B winner, we have C9. A little NA heavy here. But NA's been, like, they've been stepping up. And honestly, I think they probably made better roster improvements. Anyway, Flakes with the host. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate it, man. 93 viewers coming in. Congrats on making it to DreamHack as well, man. That's pretty cool. Pretty cool. But thank you, dude. All right. Cam Loops just subbed. Thank you, buddy. Sorry, I have all those notifications off right now, so if I miss something, I apologize. Okay. Man, it looks really small when I don't write out the whole name, but that's okay. Dig versus PSG. Oh, man. Oh, man. I've been liking what I've seen from PSG. I haven't seen Dignitas. So I'm going to go PSG. PSG's been playing really well. I think they have a sneaky shot here to do what they did at DreamHack last year. So, and then finally we got TSM versus Flipside. I think TSM kind of has their number. And also now it's a different team with a late roster move. So I expect TSM to make it through that relatively easily. So we'll get a rematch of the E-League final. And G2 versus PSG. 2 probably underdogs coming in a little bit. Here's where it gets... Man, this is so small. Here, hold on. Let's make these bigger so you guys can see. 64 is probably too big. I can't even see that. I assume it went too big. Oh, God, it fell off the screen. There we go. Make it nice and big for you guys. Just to do some anticipation for the final. Put your guesses in for the final. Or tell me what your final would be. Not what I picked, because obviously that's probably wrong. All right. The finals. G2 PSG. Cloud9 TSM. Here is my finals. G2 TSM. That is my finals there. And I do think TSM, I guess I should put a little spot here. Now I got to copy this. This is going to get awkward. Oh, boy, that is not what we wanted. That failed completely. Why did that do that? All right, we'll remove that one. I was on this one. Oh, I can't hit Control-C, I think. I think that's the problem. There we go. We'll move this over here, and I think TSM will be the winner. I think TSM looking relatively strong, and also, if this bracket plays out, like G2 has a easier side, obviously. But like PSG's kind of on that run here, so we'll have to see what PSG does, and see if they can continue that. But I think G2 might have that firepower to beat them. TSM wins. They're dancing. But we'll see if this plays out this way. I think TSM has a strong case to win this. I think C9 has a strong case to win this. And then, honestly, like, I think it's going to be really tough because, like, also with the 1 and 2 seeds or the top seeds from Group A and Group B, when you get to that Sunday final, they're going to have to play a team that's warmed up and have won a series. And people have had issues with that before. Could be a disadvantage to win your group. It's possible. It's very, very possible. But that Group A is scary. And so I'm saying TSM's going to win this. TSM might not even make it out of their group. All right? Because that group is nuts. That group is absolutely nuts. It's going to be really, really tough. And then Group B, again, I think everyone's going to predict that relatively the same. But that's it for my predictions. If you guys have any questions in chat real quick, I will take them. Or tell me why I'm wrong, because I always am. So let me know. Mr. Surskit, by the way, says hi to YouTube. So, YouTubers, say hi to Mr. Surskit. If you can spell that correctly, you get a cookie. Flip side's going to surprise people, says Rival Panda. Speed is very underrated. They just had a tough run at DreamHack. Like, I think they can iron things out for sure. So we'll see. But I think that group is tough, obviously, with Cloud9 and Dig. Dig is still probably the better team there, and Cloud9 obviously is as well. So I think that's a little tough. It's going to be one thing that I love is Flipside versus Dignitas. I don't think that's a game we actually get on stream. Or is it? Let me see. Flipside. Oh, we do get that one. Round 4, if that is correct. So that would be a lot of fun to watch. Why the confidence in G2 after their last showings? It's not really confidence. I'm not confident in any of Group A, to be fair. Because Group A is just stacked. I just had to make a call. Like, honestly. Yeah. Like, G2, they didn't look good in DreamHack qualifiers, or not nearly as good. But to be fair, really the only team that's looked like pretty good in both qualifiers is PSG. After that, everyone's been shaky, and we haven't seen TSM or Energy. So who knows? Who knows what they're looking like right now? I have no idea. So, who knows? Yeah, PSG could easily beat G2 and make that final for an all-European final for sure, just because of that warm-up stage. But I think at some point teams are going to start figuring that out a little bit. And also, like, if you win your group, like Group A, like whoever wins that group, that's a lot of good practice on Saturday for Sunday. So I think that could help them a lot there. But who knows? Who knows? What's up, Subpar? Okay. How many individual games do you think TBD will win? That's really tough. Like, I don't really know the strengths of Sam all that well, but also just because they're kind of a team that's just pick up and go to this, and it's their first like major LAN with all these teams. I don't expect them to win many. I'll say like 2 games. I'm going to say 2 games out of, so 2 and 12. Just because it's like a pickup team that also includes a sub, and they have the group of death. I'm going to go 2 games. Who's on TBD? That is Firefox, Noisy, and Volt. I can't remember exactly which. I think Firefox is Erodium, I think. Noisy is the other one. I can't remember the name. And then I think Volt was the sub. I could be off with that. But, oh no, I'm sorry. Volt was Erodium. I don't know anymore. But he's the sub for Erodium. Wait, is that right? Yeah, I think that's right. And then Noisy is Lotus. He's a starter there. And then Firefox is also Lotus, I think. I don't know. Yeah, he's on Lotus now. Noisy's on Lotus, or was on Lotus. I don't know anymore, guys. I saw it on the subreddit, and now I lost it. Maybe these results are in wrong on WSOE, but still. All right, that'll do it for the YouTube portion. Thank you guys for watching. And we'll see how WSOE plays out. I'm excited to see the games. Hopefully we get more than 5 on day number 1. I really hope we get to see 7 games. I think that'd be really, really neat. But who knows? Who knows what we'll get? But definitely watch, support the casters, support the players. It's going to be a good old time. And that'll do it for the YouTube portion of this thing. So thank you, YouTube. Goodbye. Goodbye. All right, I'll probably actually close out YouTube earlier than that. Now we can really get down and dirty here, guys. Now we're on Twitch. Like, Twitch allows anything. I mean, come on.